Okay. Hi everybody. We're going to be learning how to make a curtain today. I've got my sewing machine here. I'm set up at my sewing table. And the things that we're going to do is I'm going to give you a little background about my sewing machine, tell you about the items that we're going to need today, and then what we're going to do is we're just going to step right into it, and I'm going to talk you through everything, get you through the steps. This is going to be made on a very small scale based on the time constraint that we have today. And first step is my sewing machine. So I got to pick up the camera so that you guys can see it. So this is my whole setup right now. I've got 3 pieces of fabric because we're going to be doing this in a couple different steps today. The sewing machine that I just showed you guys, sorry, getting situated again, used to be my grandma's, and the actual original booklet was right there on the table too. It's a 1957 sewing machine, has never had any problems to my knowledge. It still works all these years later. And it is one of the ones that folds down into the table to make the table a desk when you're not using it. And I use it for that. So, I'm going to change the camera angle again. Not yet though. I spoke too soon. I'm sorry. So, as you saw, we had my 3 pieces of fabric here. This will be step 1, and I'll pin the bottom of this. I already pinned the sides. When you first start making curtains, you want to pin the sides first. Only 3 of them though. And I'll explain that in a minute. This is what the 3 sides sewn will look like. I'll show you guys how to sew too. Don't think I won't. And this is what the finished product will look like. We'll have all of the sides sewn. We'll have the top flap done in here to put the curtain rod in, on a larger scale of course. So next, we've got the pin cushion and a pair of scissors to cut the thread at the end. So I'm getting situated here, and I'm gonna get the camera set up so you guys can see my tabletop here. So after pinning the sides, oh sorry, trying to hold things too high. After pinning the sides, we gotta pin the bottom of this. So I'm just going to take a little fold over here and put the pin in. This is for the demonstration purpose of having you guys see how to round a corner, how to generally use a sewing machine. Okay, so I'm going to direct it over here. Change this angle a little bit again so you guys can see what I'm doing. Keep these out of the way. Okay. So, a couple things about the sewing machine. This is your foot plate, holds the fabric in place. This is the foot plate lever. Over here, if you can see me grabbing this with my thumb, is how we raise and lower the needle spot on the sewing machine. And this little knob here is the direction of the machine, which way it'll be sewing in, up and down, back and forward. And underneath the table, I'm not going to show you guys, there is a little button that I push on with my toe to make the machine operate. So first step, get your fabric lined up and take the pin out. Since it's so close, you don't want to sew over it. I put the foot plate down and we're going to get started. So I went forward a little bit. Now I'm flipping it to back. When you start a stitch or end a stitch, you always want to go back and forth. It's like the same as tying a knot. And it's going to ensure that the fabric doesn't come out. Sorry, I gotta fix this. that the stitch doesn't come out. Sorry, misspoke. So I'm in the fabric. That's important because you don't want your fabric to come out of line or your thread to get all discombobulated. So you flip it up, turn the fabric, put the foot plate down, and you continue your sewing. And right now I'm going to take this out. We'll move on to the next prepared fabric that I have over here. When you're done, you always want to cut this little string so it's not your end product. Okay. So I'm not going to pin this. I'm just going to fold it over, guys, because I'm going to put it right over here into the machine anyway. And we're going to do the same exact thing. Sewing is very repetitive. So it is forward right now. Going to put the lever back, go backwards, go forward again. And we're doing the reverse process again. Make sure that stitch is secure and in place. And I'll show you the nicer one. This one's a little messed up right now. I'm going to change the camera angle because you guys are looking at me again. Look at that. Okay. So this is what your little curtain's going to look like. If you were to do it on a small scale, large scale would take longer, obviously. But the basic steps, you got to get your product ready. You have all your supplies, know how to use your sewing machine. And then you can put your rod into your little flap here in your curtain, and you're good to go.